So how are you? You good before we start?
I'm good, man. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, man. You're one of my favorites.
The dream is real. It's the People Station V103, ATL's #1 for hip hop, R&B, and throwbacks. That's right. It's your lifestyle specialist, Kenny Burns, and I'm sitting here with the young legend, Chicago's own Chance the Rapper. What's up, Chance?
Yeah, what's up, man? Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. We have a live audience. We back outside. We're back outside. Thank you, Jesus. How's it feel to be outside in the real world, moving around?
It's great. It's much better than being locked down.
Yeah.
It's cool. It's also like, I work in music. Like I work in like large scale events and like connection with people. So especially for me, it's just good to like be able to see people again.
Man, you guys had a Juneteenth event.
Yeah.
15,000 people.
Yes, sir.
No incidents in Chicago. Make some noise for the nonviolence. Okay, yes, we're here for it.
Yeah, we threw our Juneteenth event. This is our second annual one. It was way bigger than last year. I think last year we had 4,000 people. Wow. So it was, it was a beautiful event. And I keep hearing like, the tagline of like without incident because it's Chicago. But I think it's very possible to do more events like that where you focus on the connection of the people.
Absolutely.
Like it's not just about who's performing there or who's or VIPs and stuff like that. Just stuff with access, with food, with drinks, with art, stuff for the kids to do.
Yeah. And
you create community in that. And so I feel like it was a space that was bred for that kind of like interaction. It wasn't no room for any dumb stuff to happen,
Yeah. Well, you show up how you want to be received, and I think the people that look to you do the same.
Yeah.
How does it feel to have that type of, positivity and flow with your community?
I hear that a lot. I guess it's a blessing. I'm human, like I'm like anybody else. But when I have interactions with people and they like, give me encouragement, show love, and like, remind me of things that I did that, felt to them like, was impactful.
Right.
It definitely brings me joy. It brings me up for sure.
Absolutely. But I think the music also speaks to that. Even this new record you have with Joey Badass, Highs and Lows,
Yes,
I'm literally on the air every time it comes. I'm like, that's that boom bap. That's that hip hop.
Yeah.
That thing feel good in my spirit.
Yo, thank you, man.
How was it making that record?
Yeah, shout out to my homie Dex Level, my producer from Chicago. He started that beat. We actually made that in Atlanta.
Come on.
Yeah.
I want to interrupt you. So we have this granite. It's called Stone Mountain. It's really a big ass crystal, and it goes through the city, which makes red clay, which makes positivity, which is why you got a hit. Yeah.
Shout out to Stone Mountain.
Yes.
Shout out to whole Atlanta. I met up with Joey out here. We just randomly were in the same city at the same time. That's my boy. We've known each other for 10 years, actually, this year. And dropped both of our debut projects the same year and just always stayed close. And we ended up bumping into each other out here for like a Revolt Summit that was going on. Mm-hmm. I was like, let's just get in the We went to the studio and, did a real writing session. That's what a lot of my music has been coming out of. Is like really sitting down, pen and paper, and just like going from conversation to paper.
Right.
And it ended up being like one of the records that I'm most proud of in my catalog.
It's
like,
hard.
It's a forever record. I feel it.
And this is a guy that's I'm turning 50 this year, and hip hop is turning 50 next year. So I'm from the. I wasn't old enough in the beginning, but the boom bap, like that kick and that flow, and then you started singing, and I don't know why you're running from that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why the R&B album is not coming. You know what I mean? Or is it?
No, there's no R&B album coming. I'm the rapper, but it's like I feel like rap is such a all-encompassing genre. Like there's so many different styles and influences that go into rap and that come out of and are inspired by rap. And I always say rap is like the one, like before rap music, most vocalists or like artists like were not typically the songwriter. You know what I'm saying? Like you find a talent in a great voice, a great look, but there's other writers that are making it. Rap is the one where it was like, no, this is your story that you tell. Sometimes the rapper is the producer, sometimes the rapper is the videographer, they're their own stylist. Like we really like build from a lot of different pieces. So singing goes into rapping because it's just a part of the history.
Yeah, I think too though you should do an R&B album, but I'm gonna tell you the reason why. I'll tell you the reason why. I think one, sonically, tone wise, you're there. It's almost like Drake, right? Drake, has been teasing, the singing for a long time, and he really is just one tone. It's not like he goes crazy vocally, right? But you get, sorry, never mind, right? And then you're like, wait, he finally gave us a singing album, but it's house music infused, and then people hated on him, and then Beyonce came with Break My Soul the next week, and then he's a genius. But back to you. I think that I don't know, man, you got daughters. I want to hear those songs, and I don't think you could just rap about them. I think there'll be some singing and some crying and shit going on.
It'll be some singing. I don't know about crying, but for sure singing.
I'm going to cry.
Well, then that would be enough tears. That would be perfect. No, I feel like when I'm making music, like my first thought that always goes into it is the words and the wording of it. You know, I'm a wordsmith. That's why I started in poetry and stuff. So like, I think about that sometimes before I think of the rhythm or melody or like even the tone. I'm gonna say it, and I'm just thinking about what I want to say. And so sometimes those words end up becoming songs like Same Drugs or Town on the Hill. But a lot of times, like, the most singing you're gonna get out of me is on a hook. Like,
I got it, and we got it on Highs and Lows. And speaking of Highs and Lows again, you and Joey, I don't know, man, that was a bomb. And then I'm thinking about what you got coming up in Accra, Ghana.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about that in a second. But I thought Black Star Square, and I'm like, Black Star. Then I was like, Joey and Chance. Is there a chance that you guys become the new Black Star?
I don't know.
You like the way okay, great.
I don't know if there'll ever be another Black Star, but
not literally, but your version.
Yeah, but I mean, you know who I've really been working with tough is my bro Vic Mensa. Shout out to Vic Mensa.
Vic,
we've been just constantly building off of each other lately. Like we started doing these writing exercises, I think in September of last year. We would just, link up and just do 10-minute writing exercises. Write for 10 minutes with the same rhyme word, or write for 10 minutes from the perspective of a chair, or write for 10 minutes, just doing different, practices in our craft.
Absolutely.
And like that really grew both of us, I feel like, and connected us even more. And
you're both from Chicago too.
Both from Chicago. I've known Vic since I was 14 years old.
There it is.
I'm 29, so that's my 15-year-old.
You only 29?
29.
Damn,
I feel like that's old.
Chaz.
All right.
Okay.
No, I'll take it. Yeah, but I feel like we've always worked well together, and we always like make dope stuff together. And so whether it's like as controlled and strategic as a collab project, or if it's something that's more ethereal and just like us building together, taking kids to Accra, Ghana, setting up the Juneteenth festival was me and Vic. We just like working on projects together and building for our people.
That's dope. Speaking of our people, Africa to the world.
Yeah.
And you're doing something major January 6th.
January 6th, yes.
Yeah. And Vic's going to be a part of that too?
Yes, me and Vic, we took our first trip to Accra, Ghana in January of this year. My first trip, I'm sorry. Vic's been going since he was young. He's Ghanaian.
Wow.
And I just, randomly in December was like, yo, I need to get away. I want to come and meet your family and just kick it and like spend some time out there. So I went out there in January, and the trip just blew me away. It was nothing like I could have expected. I've been to Johannesburg before in South Africa, but South Africa is very different from West Africa.
Yeah.
And, you learn a lot when you go to Ghana. Like it's a very historic space. It's really ground zero for a lot of like liberation work and pro-blackness in the whole globe. So I don't know if you know, but like most of the African countries are like less than like 60 years old.
Absolutely.
Colonialism just ended in the 50s, and it started in Ghana. So Kwame Nkrumah, the first president, he was inspired by Marcus Garvey. He had studied at a HBCU in America, and when he came back, he decided to free the country. At the time, it was known as the Gold Coast, but free the country from British imperialism.
Absolutely.
And kick out the English, and found this new country called Ghana in the name of black liberation, and not just in that nation, but like globally. And so all these African countries, followed suit right after, and right after that in the 50s and 60s, you got the civil rights movement in the U.S.
Yep.
You got Maya Angelou and Muhammad Ali and all these black thought leaders coming out to Ghana and just learning about unity. Ghana was like he was the first president to say they wanted to, decentralize the banks, or like come up with one currency, and then you got the euro. Like a lot of thoughts on how to run a nation, how to create a strong community came out of Ghana. And so to this day, it's like the only African country with like an Office of Diaspora and Affairs. Like, it's very easy to get citizenship. They champion blackness and they champion like building community. And so I got imparted with that on my first trip and was like very like taken back by it. And me and Vic started having these conversations about how we started touring together, I think in like 2012, we were like 18. And right after things blew up, we went and did shows in all over Europe, the small markets, you know what I'm saying? Like doing like crazy middle of nowhere shows in Australia and New Zealand and Asia and South America, but we never made it to the continent. And that's by design. And it's not like the audience isn't there. It's not like the need for the music isn't there. It's just they don't send us there like when we're touring. And so me and Vic had a conversation about it. He was like, man, Ghana needs a big ass concert.
Festival.
And, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Festival. So we announced a week ago the Black Star Line Fest, inspired by Marcus Garvey. And, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's what it's gonna be. It's an opportunity for us to learn, to be in community and have conversation, important conversation we're supposed to have. And it's a large scale demonstration.
Absolutely.
You know, the Black Star Square is named after the Black Star Line and the UNIA and all the work that Marcus Garvey did to connect us globally. And, you know, it's actually 100 years ago to this year that the U.S. government framed him and deported him and shut down the Star Line.
Yo.
So here we are years and years later, like picking up those same pieces and trying to build to a strong community.
Absolutely. And you're inviting everybody to come. This is not just for Ghana. This is for everybody to come experience Ghana.
This is for black people globally. This is our opportunity to travel safely. It's in the exact same spirit of the Juneteenth event. We're building community. We're giving an opportunity for us to gain connection, to gain education, and to be around, like, because we center our black American experience as the black experience.
And it's not.
It's not. But there are a lot of parallels in what we go through with Jamaica, with Haiti, with all the islands, with the UK, with, you know, there's black people everywhere. We're everywhere.
The diaspora is everywhere.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So it's like we need to recognize that our problems are each other's problems. We have to realize that we're going to be the ones that are going to be able to fix each other's problems. And all that starts with, you know, coming together in community.
So I was talking to Pretty Me. Give him a round of applause. The man is smart. You thought it was raps? It's not raps. It's information. You motherfuckers got to read. Meek has a question. I was talking to Meek, and I'm just going to go off script because this is what I do. I'm the Kenny Burton Show. I'm a lifestyle specialist, and I specialize in lifestyles. Ask him your question.
Hi, Mr. Chance.
Hey, how are you?
Mr. Chance.
You always give off this positive aura, even through like the television. So it's a blessing to feel it right here. But what do you do to keep that and keep yourself grounded in any type of self-care routine, including your skin, because your skin is always...
Yeah, they all said your skin was...
Thank you. I don't know. I'll be going through it with my skin, but I feel like...
Not today.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's something that I'm working on. Like, I don't really have a self-care routine. I do get massages sometimes, but not routinely, you know? And, you know, I think everything is about balance, trying to find time for the different purposes in your life. And I think what keeps me going is knowing my purpose. So, like...
Ooh, don't let that go over your heads.
I feel like I'm mostly in pain or in confusion when I can't figure out what my purpose is, or I'm not doing things that are feeding into my purpose, even if they feel good, especially if they feel bad. And so I gotta, like, that's what I try and come back to when I'm trying to center myself. But, like, that's still not really the answer to your question. What do I do?
But we're getting into
myself?
it. Listen, no, we're getting into why mental health is crucial, and this is a big part of why our business suffers a lot of the times, because people don't really have the understanding. They don't align their product and purpose. And I think you do that well. Don't you think he does that well? I think you, information-wise, right? Like even going home to Africa and understanding the importance of someone in their 20s in this business, going overseas. No, this is normal. No, matter of fact, it's more than normal. It's where it started. You should come to, like, I think these are the things, but we're taught all the wrong shit.
No, for real. It's by design, especially when it comes to that stuff. Like, I think about it a lot. Like, one of my mentors, one of the people I look up to the most in this world is Dave Chappelle. He's an incredibly intelligent dude.
He's not
man.
a comedian. He's like an orator.
Yeah,
like,
he's an orator for show. He's an amazing speaker and thought person. You know what I mean? Especially in real life. And you know, since I was a kid, my dad, I don't know why, I was probably too young, but my dad always had me watching Chappelle's show, always had me watching his specials.
dad is like very important. Not just as his
definitely
dad,
important in my life for sure. I think like it's certain type of like people that you just revere and you see like in their walk, and you can kind of like, I don't know, just understand them differently than you understand other people.
But that's what you do musically, though, I think. Like, because even Chappelle, like, of course he gets to the joke, but he's storytelling. And the reason we're so enamored is because he's telling us a story.
Yeah.
And you're locked in, and not only stories about, you know, things that, you know, he wants us to hear or thinks we should know. He gives context. He just had the special at Duke Ellington, you know,
DC, yeah.
and he said, "What's in a name?"
Yeah.
And the whole skit, I mean, I laughed, you know, but I also was like, yo, it's not about you.
Yeah.
It's about what you can do for your people ultimately. So he didn't name the theater after Dave Chappelle. He did the, I forgot the name, but it was important.
Yeah.
The words mean something.
Yeah.
And I think that's what you do with your lyrics.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, I try and tell a story. I try and tell my story. I try to do it artfully and like in my voice or my language. But I think like that's what we're supposed to do as artists. Like I always say what makes us human is the fact that we can communicate at a high level. Like
Facts.
Animals can everybody can communicate, but humans, the emotions and thoughts and situations that we can communicate are just like high level. And when you're an artist, when you're an entertainer, when you're a creative, you communicate at the highest level. And so, you know, sometimes because we understand what our work does for people and how people consume it, it could be easy to not communicate at your highest level and think that you just need to create for an audience. But the audience comes because they see something in you that's in them. So when you're truthful to yourself, you know, you're going to always connect with somebody.
That part. Wow, give him a round of applause for that. I think we have some very thought-provoking assignments. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get you on the stage to perform, your father, you know, love is a part of your DNA. You're married. How important is love, black love specifically, but how important is that in your life?
It's the foundation. It's like, I think what's truest to our essence is caring for each other and being in relationship, and you know, it takes a village to raise a child. Like that's the truth. Is like we're supposed to be communal in our upbringing, and we're supposed to be locked in our families and taking care of business. And so my parents been married for like 30 years, I think, 30-something years. But it wasn't just...
Y'all lonely motherfuckers ain't gonna clap loud for that. Don't do that.
It might not be that long, I don't know. But I feel like it's like the impact that had wasn't just on me and my brother, it was also on like the people in our neighborhood, the kids that grew up with us, like with everyone, and how it carried over into our families, and the way that the things that I treasure so much is what I end up replicating. Like Juneteenth is based on my mom taking me to African Fest in
Come
Chicago.
on, heritage.
Like, you know, like it's like these things that I experienced being in the family that I was in, being in relationship with the friends that I was in relationship with. Like I'm always trying to like mirror that experience and give it to more people, because I always got to shout out the reason why I rap is not because of like a famous dude. It's because this guy named Brother Mike Hawkins that was a mentor to me when I was a kid. He ran like a after school program where you could come and rap and stuff.
Muslim?
Was Brother Mike Muslim? I'm not sure.
Okay.
He was very like in tune with his blackness. He might have been a Muslim. I don't know. He's a great dude. He passed away like 5 years ago, but a lot of the talent, Vic Mensa, No Name, Lucky X, Mick Jenkins, Saba, like a lot of us that came out of Chicago that ended up doing, you know, great things, came out of this after school program where he not only taught us how to make beats, perform and hold your mic the correct way, all this stuff. But also, like, he taught us that we had to, like, carry that down. Like, when we were done with the program, we need to become junior mentees and then mentors, and then, you know, like, there's this process, this cyclical process of teaching where if somebody teaches you, it's your job now to impart that on somebody else. So I feel like, I don't even remember where I started this question, but shout out
good
Brother
humans.
Mike, rest in peace, Brother Mike, man, good man.
Yeah, Brother Mike, rest in peace. I just think it's about being a good human. I think showing up how you want to be received, you do that well. You have an enormous presence without actively being in our face all the time. And I think that's a lost art in this business as well. So I want to give you those flowers.
Thank you.
Absolutely. And it's not just a light skin thing. But I want to know, though, and I see you have vision. You have intent behind your actions and your words. What do you see next for hip hop? Because I really think R&B, not trying to get you doing R&B album, but I just see how rap is so cookie cutter, not your side of the fence, but how do you see that shaping up?
I think hip hop is probably like the I don't know, how do I put this? It's like the apex evolution of music because it can keep bringing in new influences and influencing new genres. And, you know, it is like the black man's free art. You know what I'm saying? It's like how jazz was. It's like how rock and roll was. And the cool thing about hip hop is because of the age that it's in, no matter how many people, you know, we allow in, the essence is still always blackness, and that's still like the root of it. And we can tell our stories how we want to. We can create community and create certain environments how we want to with it. I think the next evolution of hip hop is gonna definitely come from the visual side, like videos and how our eyes work for the eye that we have for cinema. Just being rappers, just being the type of people that we are and what we're influenced by, like we stand in line to make the next great like movies, but with our music, if that makes sense.
And you sound like you're working on one. Is this?
I'm working on, yeah, I'm on my film stuff.
I can read between the lines. You feel me? Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Chance the Rapper.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, man.
I appreciate you.
You're dope in real life. Yes, sir. First interview.
Dream is real.